Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to the lesson 4 of Science Fact by 2, Chapter 2, Plants and Their System. In this lesson, we will be discussing about transport of water in plants. We already have discussed about transport of food in plants, which is carried out by phloem. The learning objectives for this lesson are to describe the process of osmosis, to explain how water is transported through plants in xylem tubes, to explain the transpiration, and to explain how water is lost from plants during transpiration, and to describe the term flaccid and turgid. So let us first talk about osmosis. Osmosis is a special kind of diffusion. Diffusion happens in gas molecules, while osmosis happens in water molecules. That is why it is special. So what is osmosis? Osmosis is the movement of water molecules from high concentration area to low concentration area across a permeable membrane. This area is high concentration, meaning more water molecules are present here, while this area is low concentration, meaning less water molecules are present here. So what will happen? Water will begin to move from high concentration area to low concentration area. So now you know, osmosis is the movement of water molecules from high concentration to low concentration across a permeable membrane. In the definition of osmosis, you came across with the words partially permeable membrane. What does partially permeable membrane means? Partially means a part, one part, not the whole, but one part, a few of the material or whatever it is. Permeable means to give permission. Membrane means a thin sheet of cells or tissue which act as a barrier, a divider, a separator, or a boundary between outside and inside. So in this diagram, this black layer is the membrane which has holes. It allows the molecules to pass through, but it allows partially or part of the molecules to pass through. This membrane is only allowing the water molecules, the small molecules which are resembled or represented as water. They are only allowing water molecules, and they are blocking the sugar molecules to pass through. So this membrane is partially permeable. It only allows, partly allows water molecules and stops the rest of the molecules. Usually, a cell is surrounded by membrane, and their membrane are partially permeable membrane, which means they only allow a part of molecules to pass through them, which are needed by the plant or by the cell, and it stops the rest of the molecules to enter, which are not needed by the cell, or they are dangerous for the cell or poisonous. Here is a situation in which we have a beaker filled with water, more water and less sugar. You can see more water molecules inside the beaker and less sugar molecules. 1, 2, 3, 4 molecules represent sugar. So this solution is a weak sugar solution with more water and less sugar. Inside the bag, we have strong sugar solution. Strong sugar solution means there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sugar molecules and very few water molecules. So the bag has low concentration of water and the beaker has more concentration of water. So what will happen? The water will move inside. Why the water moves inside? Because we have the rule that water always moves from more to less or from more or high concentration to low concentration. After the water moves inside the bag, the water level will be increased. These pictures explain how water is transported from roots to the leaves. We will follow the steps. First, the water enters the root hair cells from the surface of the soil particles. From the soil, the root enters the root hair cell. Remember how the water moves. It moves by osmosis. So, water is high in concentration in soil. So, from high, water will move to the low concentrated area, that is root. In this way, the root will get high in concentration and the water will move to the low concentration. Then from high to low, from high to low, from high to low, and it will reach the leaf from high to low. The water is pushed into and up the xylem tubes by pressure. Water will be pulled by the xylem tube and it reaches the leaf from high to low. Now you can see the water concentration inside the leaf is high. Water evaporates from the leaf cells into the air space. Now the cells are turgid. The water concentration is high inside the leaf. So water vapor passes out of the leaf through open stomata. Those water molecules which are not needed by the plant will escape or evaporate from the stomata. This hole is called stoma, singular stoma, plural stomata. That is called transpiration. What is transpiration? It is the loss of water from leaves into the surrounding air through stomata. These small holes are called stomata. They are found under the leaf, on the inner side of the leaf. What is stomata? Tiny holes that act like small gates or window. They are found on the lower surface of leaf. Water escapes from these holes. This loss of water is called transpiration. What affects transpiration? There are 4 factors explained in your book that affects transpiration. Let us recall. What is transpiration? It is the loss of water. It happens or it is affected by temperature, wind, humidity, and time of the day. We will discuss each of this one by one, taking an example. Wet clothes. Here you see a shirt which is wet. You can see the water drops on the shirt. Now can you tell me how this shirt will get dried? You need temperature. Temperature means how hot or cold the environment is. So if it is hot outside or during warm days, more water will evaporate from the leaves. Wind. During windy season or during windy days, the water vapor will be blown away as it comes out. Time of the day. If it is daytime, there will be sun, which means it will be a hot day, while the nights are cold. So, daytime helps speed up the transpiration or the water loss. Humidity. What is humidity? We have two situations over here. One is sunny, the other is rainy. When it is sunny, the air is dry. When it is raining, the air is wet. So it is humid. On dry days, the air can hold more water vapor. So transpiration will happen quickly during the dry days, not during rainy days or when there is more humidity. So let us take the example and put it in real life situation with plants. This is a leaf. On the lower surface of the leaf there are stomata. On the stomata you can see water vapors. What affect these water vapors to transpire? The first thing is temperature. Sun. When the temperature is hot, the molecules will get crazy. They get so much energy, they get crazy, so they transpire or escape. Windy. During windy days, the water vapors which came out of the stomata will be blown away. So wind helps increase transpiration. Time of the day. As we said, daytime increases transpiration because it is hot, and nighttime decreases transpiration because it is cold. There is also another reason. During the day, the stomata are open. Stomata cells are turgid. They get fat and the hole is open. That is why during the day transpiration increases, while at night the stomata are closed. Humidity. As I explained earlier, humidity means when the environment has more water. If the environment has more water, it will not take any water from the plants. But if the environment is dry, transpiration will happen. So now you know that transpiration is affected by temperature, wind, time of the day, and humidity. The more the humid the environment is, the less transpiration. And the more the temperature, wind, the more transpiration. And if it is daytime, transpiration will speed up. Did you forget to water your plant? Oh, they are sad. did not water them. They are thirsty. This condition is called flaccid. When you do not water the plants, they bend and they are sad. Their cells shrink and they lose water. On the other side, this plant receives enough water and they are turgid or fat. All the cells are fat, that is why they are upright. The leaves are upright. This condition is called turgid. Turgid plant has leaves which are upright, while flaccid plant has leaves which are fat and fallen down. The cells are shrinked, while the turgid cell is fat. That was for today's lesson. Hope you understand. Let us take a quick quiz. Pause the video and answer the following questions. The first question is, point the place where you will find water in high concentration. This is the picture and you have to point where you see higher concentration of water. Question 2. Where is xylem tube? Point at the xylem tube. It is very visible. Point 3. Question number 3. Point the direction of water flow. You have to mark the direction of the water flow. From where will water flow throughout this diagram? Question number 4. What is the name of the process by which the water moves? You have to name the process by which the water moves. The special kind of process. Question number 5. Define transpiration. You have to define transpiration in your own words. And what are the four factors that affect transpiration? Name them. The home assignment for this week is that you have to complete test yourself on page number 22 and 24.